Welcome to Safety Training, Logistics, and Warehousing for Adecco, the world's largest staffing services company. You have already completed our General Safety Training course. This follow-on module covers additional information relevant specifically to associates working in logistics and warehousing. Employee safety is our highest priority. After completing this orientation, you should be able to list the 5 most common types of associate injuries and best practices for preventing them. Describe the importance of personal protective equipment or PPE common to the logistics and warehousing industries, and describe the specific safety guidelines you should follow when working with equipment often used for logistics and warehousing.
Please note that for the remainder of this video, when we say Adecco, we are referring to the Adecco Group.
To begin, let's consider some general protocols and procedures to keep you safe at any worksite in the logistics and warehousing industry. Logistics and warehousing associates fulfill functions within the supply chain of a business. Warehousing focuses on the safe storage of goods within a building, while logistics deals with delivery of those goods to the customer. The daily tasks of logistics and warehousing associates involve accepting incoming orders, restocking shelves, processing and packing orders, counting inventory, and ensuring orders are shipped in a timely manner. To ensure the safety of associates working in logistics and warehousing work sites, it is important to follow safety protocols and guidelines such as wearing personal protective equipment, properly handling hazardous materials, and using equipment safely. Additionally, associates should be aware of emergency procedures and know how to respond in case of accident or injury. Regular safety training and communication can help prevent accidents and ensure a safe work environment. In this section, we'll explore some common associate injuries, as well as some strategies to keep yourself safe while on the job. The 5 most common types of associate injuries in the logistics and warehousing sector include musculoskeletal disorders, MSDs, slips, trips, and falls, contusions, cuts and lacerations, and burns and heat, cold exposure. Musculoskeletal disorders are injuries caused by wear and tear on the body's muscles, nerves, tendons, joints, cartilage, and spinal discs. Strategies for preventing MSDs include use ergonomically designed tools and workstations. Ergonomics is the process of designing the workplace and job demands to match the physical capabilities of the worker. Maintain postures that reduce physical stress on your body, especially while lifting and carrying heavy loads. Take stretch breaks before heavy work and after holding an awkward posture or spending extended periods on repetitive tasks. Slips, trips, and falls can occur when working on wet surfaces or in cluttered work areas. Strategies for preventing slips, trips, and falls include keep floors and walkways clean, dry, and free of clutter. Wear slip-resistant footwear. Keep work areas well lit. Heed wet floor warning signs. Scan your immediate area for trip hazards before moving in any direction. When walking, keep your eyes focused on the direction of your travel. Maintain focus on your surroundings, body position, and equipment. Contusions, commonly called bruises, are caused by forceful contact between an associate and an object or piece of equipment. These are sometimes called struck by, struck against, or struck on injuries. Strategies for preventing contusions include wear clothing that makes you easy to see, such as reflective safety vests. Wear PPE, such as hard hats and steel-toed shoes in environments, such as warehouses, where falling objects could be a hazard. Be careful moving through areas crowded by inventory or machinery. Use parabolic or traffic mirrors to visualize blind spots. These mirrors provide visibility in tight corners, exits, and other areas where line of sight might be obstructed. Cuts and lacerations are often caused by handling sharp objects and operating equipment, machinery, or hand tools. Strategies for preventing cuts and lacerations include wear cut-resistant gloves. Always perform cutting motions, for example with a box cutter, away from your body. Be sure all machine guards and seals are in place and undamaged before using a piece of heavy equipment. Always use the right tool for the job. Burns and exposure to heat or cold occur when body parts come in contact with extreme temperatures. Strategies for prevention include: wear the right gloves for the job. For example, wear leather gloves for welding, rubber gloves for electrical work, and insulated gloves when working in very cold conditions. Be sure to keep barriers, such as insulating material, on hot steam pipes or panels covering heating elements. Stay alert to your working conditions and seek out the proper protective equipment. A variety of personal protective equipment is used to help prevent illness and injury for associates working in logistics and warehousing. It is your responsibility to ensure that your PPE is clean and well maintained so it will do its job to help protect your health and safety. Gloves protect workers from chemical burns, cuts, and abrasions. However, not all gloves are the same. Different types of gloves are important for different types of jobs. Chemical-resistant gloves should be used by anyone working with hazardous chemicals. These gloves prevent chemicals from being absorbed through the skin. Cut-resistant gloves help to protect your hands and fingers from cuts and abrasions when performing tasks with sharp tools, such as box cutters. In fact, 70% of hand and finger injuries are reported by people who were not wearing gloves. Slip-resistant footwear helps to protect you from slips and falls. Their soles are typically made of rubber with unique tread patterns designed to grip wet, slick, or oily surfaces. Always wear proper eye protection when working around hazards such as chemicals, flying objects, or mechanical irritants, including dust. Face shields protect you from chemical splashes. A properly sized face shield should extend below your chin and above your eyes and should wrap around the sides of your face. Excessive noise exposure is the most common cause of hearing loss. To protect yourself, wear earplugs or earmuffs to dampen the noise caused by industrial equipment common to the manufacturing environment. Wearing face masks may help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and other airborne illnesses. In this section, we'll review some common equipment used in the logistics and warehousing industry, as well as some strategies for using machines and devices safely. Equipment will vary significantly depending upon the products being stored and distributed within a warehouse facility, but some of the most common are covered here. Remember, you should never operate any equipment unless you've been trained and authorized to do so. Conveyors are transportation devices that move boxes and even full pallets throughout a warehouse facility on rollers or conveyor belts. Conveyor systems can be operated manually, by gravity, or automatically with a motor system. Carts are wheeled devices, generally made from plastic and/or metal, used to move items within a warehouse. Carts come in a variety of sizes and are sometimes used by order pickers to collect individual boxes or items within the warehouse. Handheld scanners are used to quickly scan items as they come into the warehouse. This information is then used to update inventory levels and help with stock management. Powered industrial trucks, or PITs, are one of the most common types of equipment found in warehouses. Forklifts, order pickers, and tuggers are all types of powered industrial trucks. In this section, you'll learn more about PITs used in logistics and warehousing. Pallet jacks can be manual or electric and make lifting and moving pallet loads of materials in warehouses much easier and more efficient. Sit-down forklifts feature a large weight placed at the lift truck's rear to balance the load it carries. They are also called counterbalance forklifts since they use a weight at the back to balance the load on the front at the front. Stand-up forklifts are sometimes called stand-ons or electric riders. These forklifts are a good choice when an operator needs to frequently get on and off the lift truck. These forklifts are generally shorter and are easier to maneuver in small, congested spaces. Order pickers, sometimes called cherry pickers, are used for selecting or picking single items from high stacks or for conducting inventory. Whereas forklifts can lift many items all at once, an order picker is perfect for moving single items or orders. Tuggers are typically battery-powered machines designed to move heavy-wheeled loads. They behave like a locomotive on a train, but at a much smaller scale, to transport materials efficiently within a warehouse. In the United States, there are approximately 61,000 forklift accidents per year, with almost 35,000 of these resulting in serious injury and approximately 100 resulting in fatalities. Why are forklifts so dangerous? Forklifts are heavy and powerful machines. Many weigh 9,000 pounds or more, which is triple the weight of a passenger car. Forklifts can move at speeds of up to 18 miles per hour. Forklifts are harder to stop than cars, as they only have one set of brakes located in the front of the vehicle. Cars have front and rear brakes. The weight of a forklift is unevenly distributed, which makes it harder to operate and drive. The rear wheels of a forklift are responsible for turning the vehicle, increasing the chances of tipping during tight turns. Forklifts have a limited field of vision, and the load is carried in the front of the vehicle, blocking operators' line of sight. This can make it difficult for operators to see people or objects in their path, leading to accidents and collisions. Forklifts are designed to lift and move heavy loads to high places, but if the load is not properly balanced or secured, it can shift or fall, causing damage or injury. As with any type of equipment, you should not operate a forklift unless you've been trained and authorized to do so.
Adecco associates may only drive forklifts that they have been trained and certified to operate. Training may include a written exam, behavioral exam, eye test, reflex test, and driving assessment to ensure they will be able to handle their job in all situations. As you've learned, operating a forklift can be dangerous. However, accidents can be prevented. Let's take a look at each hazard highlighted here to learn how to avoid forklift accidents.
Associates who operate forklifts must be aware of obstacles, pedestrians, and changes in the floor gradient that can cause problems within the work environment. The best training programs cover all of these conditions. Using improper or poorly installed forklift attachments and accessories contributes to accidents. Associates must ensure that all accessories and attachments are properly secured to prevent slipping or detaching. Drivers must conduct daily inspections of equipment before and after operation, noting any faulty parts that need to be fixed or replaced. Forklifts are not designed for speed. They are designed to carry heavy objects from one point to another. Drivers must guard against becoming overconfident and assuming that there will be no danger in driving faster than the recommended normal operating speed. Turning a corner at high speeds can cause the lift to tilt to one side and then tumble over. Again, forklifts are not designed for speed. Drivers should know to approach the corner slowly and carefully before making a turn. Any loose load can fall from the mast and tines if it's unbalanced or loosely packed. Depending on the weight of the load, this can have serious consequences for pedestrians in the area. Always make sure that the load is stable and secure before moving it to another location. Under no circumstances should a worker stand or sit on the forklift masts. A person riding the mast could easily fall and be run over, leading to serious injury or death.
There are many hazards in warehouses that can cause danger when using forklifts. Let's take a look at some of the different warehouse hazards that can cause forklift accidents. Remember, never operate a forklift unless you are properly trained and certified to do so.
Picking up and setting down pallets stored at high levels can be very tricky. This is due to the driver's obstructed view. The harder it is for the operator to see, the higher the chance the pallets will get knocked off, or the forklift tines will damage the product or racking. To prevent this, Adecco operators can reset the tines to a level position or utilize a mast camera with an operator monitor, if one is provided, to see what is happening on the high racks. An uneven surface or an uneven load that is too heavy can cause a forklift to topple over. Potholes, drains, and steep slopes can also cause the vehicle to topple over. Be sure to check the integrity of both the load and the driving surface before driving. Any load higher than the forklift's center of gravity will be unstable and unbalanced and will tend to pull down whatever it is attached to. Forklift regulations require drivers to carry loads, especially heavy ones, as near to the ground as possible, approximately 4 inches from the floor. Highly visible and sufficient floor marking helps to avoid accidents. Clear markings and visible warning signs are a must to protect forklift operators, pedestrians, and other warehouse staff. Forklifts and pedestrians should always keep a safe distance from each other, especially in forklift or heavy equipment zones. Distracted pedestrians can pose a great danger to everyone. When driving a forklift in a high-traffic warehouse, be sure to constantly scan your surroundings for other vehicles and pedestrians. Narrow warehouse aisles are quite tricky to navigate when operating a forklift or any other heavy equipment. Even if an aisle is designed for easy maneuvering, a small amount of clutter can lead to accidents if the driver tries to avoid these obstacles. Problems may also occur when there is high volume of traffic in a warehouse that is not designed to sustain heavy traffic. Other potential issues include changing surface materials, uneven surfaces, ramps, heavy noises, and poor lighting. As an Adecco forklift operator, you must be continually alert at all times.
You've covered quite a lot of information in today's video. Let's take a moment for a short 5-question knowledge check. Which of these injury types are common to the logistics and warehousing industry? Asbestosis, cuts and lacerations, musculoskeletal disorders or MSDs, or slips, trips, and falls? You may select more than one answer. The correct answers are cuts and lacerations, musculoskeletal disorders, and slips, trips, and falls. True or false? You should never use any tools, machinery, or equipment unless you've been trained and authorized to do so by Adecco and your client supervisor. The correct answer is true. You should never use any tools, machinery, or equipment unless you've been trained and authorized to do so. Which of these statements are true about forklifts? They are heavy and powerful. They are harder to stop than cars. Their weight is unevenly distributed. They can move at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. The load is carried in the front of the vehicle, blocking operators' line of sight. You may select more than one answer. The correct answers are forklifts are heavy and powerful. They are harder to stop than cars, and their weight is unevenly distributed. The forklift load is carried in the front of the vehicle, blocking operators' line of sight. True or false? Driving a forklift is very similar to driving a car. The correct answer is false. Driving a forklift is quite different from driving a car, which is why it's so important that you be properly trained on the forklift you'll be operating. Which acronym is typically used to describe an injury caused by wear and tear on the body's muscles, nerves, tendons, joints, cartilage, and spinal discs? Select the best choice from the options given. The correct answer is MSD, or musculoskeletal disorders. Thank you for completing this safety orientation. There are many additional safety concerns that are out of the scope of this orientation. You will receive additional training at the client site that is specific to the site and the job that you'll be completing. Your job safety is ultimately up to you. If you have a question about the safety of your job assignment or equipment, reach out to your Adecco representative or client supervisor.